One of the biggest mistakes we see entrepreneurs make is focusing only on getting the buyer meeting and not thinking about what happens after the buyer says yes.
Because once a retailer is interested, the conversation changes quickly. Now they want to know, can you actually produce the product? Can you deliver on time? Can you handle larger orders?
So, in this video, we want to walk you through some practical things you should understand before pitching a major retailer like Walmart. So, step one, we want you to understand your cost of goods.
Now, one of the first things you need to understand is your cost of goods. That means what it actually costs to produce your product.
And we're talking about everything. So, that's your ingredients, your packaging, your labels, labor, shipping, storage, any manufacturing fees.
Now, a lot of entrepreneurs only think about ingredients and forget everything else. That's where the problems start.
hmm And another thing people don't realize is that manufacturers often can source ingredients much more cheaper than small businesses can on their own because they're buying it at scale.
And many manufacturers also have standard packaging options already available in house. That can sometimes save you money instead of creating fully custom packaging right away. So, step number two, contact your manufacturers early.
Yes. And so another thing that we teach is not to wait too long to start talking to manufacturers, even if you're still just figuring things out.
Now, you want to start asking questions like, what are your minimum order quantities? Or what packaging options do you offer? Or, what are your production timelines? Can you help source ingredients? Or do you work with Walmart suppliers already?
And honestly, those conversations can teach you a lot about what's realistic for your business. So, step three, we want you to understand retail pricing.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about retail pricing because this is where a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck.
Yeah, and you cannot randomly just pick a price because it sounds good. You have to understand your numbers. Your numbers have to make sense.
And you have to think about your production costs, retailer margins, distributor margins, promotions, shipping.
Yeah, and remember, Walmart still has to make money, or any retailer, they still have to make money. That's why your pricing matters so much. Let's give you a very simple example because this is where sometimes people get confused. So, let's say your manufacturer tells you it costs now manufacturer co-packer, remember
Mhm.
we're talking about the same thing, okay? So let's say your manufacturer tells you it costs $2.50 to make your product, okay? So that's going to include your ingredients, your packaging, labor, production costs.
Now, let's say shipping and warehousing adds another 50 cents to it. Now, your true cost is about $3.
Right. And so you still need room for retailer margins and profit for your business, for yourself. So maybe your wholesale price to Walmart becomes around $6.
And then Walmart may retail that product somewhere around $8.99 to $9.99, depending on the category.
Now, obviously, every product in every category is different, and every retailer is going to be different as well. But every product, is going to have different pricing. So
Mhm.
don't get hung up on the example. It's just an example. The point is, you need to understand the entire structure before you start throwing out random numbers and pricing your item incorrectly.
Absolutely, because if your product costs too much to make, it may not fit the retail price customers expect in that category. And that's why knowing your numbers early matters so much. So, step number four, study the shelf prices.
Mhm.
One thing we always tell people to do is go to Walmart and study the prices in your category.
Yes, look at products that are similar to yours. What are they charging? What size is their product? How does your packaging compare to what is on the shelf now?
Because your product still has to make sense to the consumer standing in the aisle. Now, step number five, think about fulfillment.
Hmm. Another thing entrepreneurs need to think about early is the fulfillment. If Walmart places a large order, how are you going to ship it?
And that's why it's important to start learning about warehouses, pallets, shipping timelines, 3PL companies.
Yes, so 3PL, that stands for third party logistics. These companies help businesses store inventory and ship products.
Now, a lot of entrepreneurs start from home, and that's completely fine. But scaling into retail usually requires more structure behind the scenes. So, step number six, stay organized.
Yes, you should also start organizing important business information. So, any types of business licensing, LLC, EIN number, your DUNS number, product specs, invoices, ingredient statements, certifications, manufacturing information.
Because buyers and retailers may ask for information quickly, and being organized makes your business look much more professional.
Yes. So a lot of people focus on getting into Walmart, but I'm going to tell you something. Staying in Walmart is the bigger challenge.
Yes, it is. And usually the brands that succeed long term are the ones that prepared their operations before the opportunity showed up.
Yes. So in the next video, we're going to walk you through what actually happens inside a buyer meeting and how to present your product professionally without overcomplicating it. We'll see you in the next video.